got it. Good morning, everybody. We are super pumped because this is one of the 2 days that's going to be the most busiest day here at the show, right? 10:15, and if you are here, then you probably know that you need some of those wristbands.
It's official VIP access.
Yes, to have the official VIP access. If you don't have them, you get them at the party tonight, 6 o'clock, here on our stage. Antonio will play us a song. Lutz will sing a little bit. Inka will do belly dancing, half naked, she said.
Whoa.
And and I think Jürgen is running the confetti machine, so gotta be here
What's
tonight.
Ryan's job?
No, we're not talking about Ryan because it's going to be an embarrassing surprise. So we're not going to talk about that. It's the Together for the Ocean party here with us. And if you guys followed us on social media, then you know that we've been starting out this year with a community video. And it's been amazing what you've been sending us. We've been asking for your most emotional ocean encounter you have to send us on video. And we've been, you know, in the beginning we had the idea we put everything together in one video, but with like 1,500 clips it was a little bit of a mess. So sorry to everyone who is not in this video, but we're gonna release a bigger one that we then can watch, you know, like 4-hour video or something, maybe screensaver.
With some classical music in the background.
Okay, but it's been amazing what we can see out there, and it's really cool because we're kind of connected in all of this, and all the different people with all the different locations and all the different animals and everything was really fun to watch. So I will run this now, and after that we talk a little bit about who's on stage today, and we're going to have Jürgen from Nauticam here talking a little about the prizes that we are fortunate enough to give away for you guys. So I run that now. This is the official start for a cool last weekend. We also dressed up in our flower shirts. We're gonna reveal that because it's a special day. So here, Together for the Ocean. See you in a second.
Let's get together. Let's get together. Let's get together. Everybody, let's get together. Let's get together. Let's get together. Like family.
You should dance.
No, Yeah, this is all you guys.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty convenient. I think we have to change the way we work. We just let the community shoot all the cool things, and then we just have a cup of coffee and edit everything, and everything's done.
So
That's
no need
cool.
to travel anymore.
And happy Lunar Chinese New Year. Who didn't know that? We already decorated our walls a little bit with a lot of red I'm seeing there, just below Naomi's artwork. Speaking of, Naomi, what's the daily artwork update?
The daily artwork update. This one was a work in progress yesterday, but now it's finished.
Wow.
That was that beautiful moment with Nunu and the whale.
That's Nuno
Yeah.
freeing the whale. Really emotional story.
Yeah,
Really.
if everyone gets a chance to watch the live stream, they'll see this at the end. It's actually all caught on video.
Yeah. Entangled is the name of the little video, and it was a very emotional moment here on stage.
Yeah.
How are you doing so far? Do you think we get everything done until tomorrow afternoon?
We'll see how we go. I'm
see
gonna
how
work.
it goes. That's a
I want to
no.
work on you today. That's going to be the big one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a quick one,
Yeah. A quick one.
right? Just a big black hole. What's your favorite from yesterday, though?
I really thought that Inka did a wonderful job, and she did such a
Inka
great
did a
job.
wonderful job.
Yeah, talking about
Aw.
how to
Yeah.
get into conservation videography.
Yeah.
Well done.
Totally agree. Also kind of jealous. But Hamdan, for you, what was your thing yesterday?
Besides Inca, Evan Sherman's stuff was really cool.
The color,
Opening a lot
macro
of doors.
color,
Yeah.
lighting and things. Yeah, I think so
It's
too.
a shame because when it comes to macro, a lot of people hide their artistic abilities, whereas Evan is showing us everything.
See that, guys? You know, from hating macro to loving macro.
I wouldn't say loving. We're getting there.
Do
First
you get
date,
your
second
sticker
date.
removed?
No.
Okay.
Soon.
I'd
maybe.
rather eat fire coral than shoot macro. That's on his housing.
Sorry.
So when you see him in the field, just, remind him that we can have a lot of love for the small things, especially if they're so colorful. That's the last live stream from yesterday. Okay, cool. So if you guys been following, we are giving away. Oh, but it's actually not true. We are not giving anything away. We don't have anything. You know, you can't reach in the pocket of a naked man, but you can find friends and partners. Like Nauticam today, we are super thrilled that we can give away amazing prizes and just pretend that it's us, but it's actually all the friends and partners. And if you want to know how that works, and if you want to have a chance to win something, then go back on our Facebook and YouTube before all the live mess has been happening. We've been posting 7 videos about different topics in diving. And this was the way how we actually also curated all the questions from you guys. So if you leave a question under the videos, you automatically take part in having a chance to win amazing prizes. As one of the prizes are 2 Nauticam housings. You're not going to win 2, that's for sure, but you might win 1. And to explain a little bit why this is really an amazing prize, Helge is here from Nauticam. Yes, now you have to come up here. Yes.
It's the man.
Yes. Yes. Do we have a microphone for him? Yeah, okay, cool.
Good morning.
Good morning. How is your toe?
It's okay. It's getting there.
Okay. Had to happen. Last day, last weekend. How
Well,
was the show so far?
I didn't want to give Hamdan the housing, so he just smashed my toe. It's
Yeah.
really inappropriate.
Whatever it takes. I have to have that housing.
You notice how he put it on this table, not that table, because
Little fun
he might
fact on
just
the side.
pick up and walk
Hamdan's
away with it.
already bought this housing. I think makes
Literally this whole setup.
like the way it is now.
Yeah.
Like the way, like this one.
But did you get the Hergen signature edition?
Ooh, what do I get
I don't
for
think
that
you
one?
did. I don't think you did.
Oh, what am I missing out on?
Signature edition is like
Well,
the
you-
one with
you
the
know.
broken vacuum system.
Oh, those.
Exactly.
Oh, before we forget that, there's a question we were wrapping our heads around about cold water diving and the vacuum system in the housings. And I think you're the right guy to talk about it. Like, is there anything? I didn't notice anything. I was just using the vacuum in -1 degrees of water. Everything was fine. But how does it actually, like, what is an expert advice?
It's actually perfectly fine to use the vacuum system. The only thing is when you're pulling the vacuum, you have to take the cap off. Maybe Hamdan can give us a quick demonstration there. When you take the cap off and you're pulling that vacuum, you just want to make sure that you get the cap back on really quickly, just so you're not getting any moisture in there and that orifice can freeze a little bit. Just when you're going to try to release the vacuum later, it's really just that orifice right there. So you really just want to make sure that you're in a nice dry environment and you're capping it right away once you've pulled the vacuum. But that's really the only sort of issue with it.
Okay, because we've been briefly
I know we had a
it.
great physics conversation about it, and it turns out no, it's really just that.
Okay, so we're just
Interesting.
basically like don't have to worry about anything.
No, you're good.
Okay, and if you pull the air out more, does that like insulate the camera less?
No, because you're not actually really pulling that much of a vacuum. It's really just enough that the sensor is able to tell that, okay, yes, I have a.
But we could claim
I've
that
achieved a
nobody can
vacuum.
prove it, and we're gonna look like super smart.
I'll write a white paper on it next year
Okay,
for
cool.
Nauticam.
And
there
then we
we go.
have Inca doing some conservation things
Yeah.
with it.
Patented, make $1
Okay.
million out of it.
So when I was asking you guys what you think is a really good giveaway, Ryan immediately said, for the compact housing, it's this one that I can't remember the
The
name.
Canon G5X Mark II.
Yeah, Canon G5X Mark II. Why?
One of the great things, and I'll talk about our optics in a second, but the 1-inch sensor cameras have the compact cameras, so fixed lens cameras, have really, it used to be back in the day with compact cameras, you had a lot of shutter delay to it, and it was a little bit frustrating. You got some blur in your images. Nowadays, the performance of these cameras is really exceptional. You've got a 1-inch sensor. They're shooting RAW. They're shooting, high-quality JPEGs if you prefer that. The processing inside the camera is really fast. With this one, the G5X Mark II, as opposed to the original G5X, you've now got 4K internal recording, 30p, at actually a quite high bit rate. You've got that cool Canon color in there as well. It's really a pretty powerful an entry-level system. You're not breaking the bank to pick this up, but you can shoot 4K video. You can take raw images, and if you take advantage of the really cool optics that we make. So, this year we introduced the WWLC, which is our wet wide lens for compact cameras, and we've gone through this a few times. 130 degrees. Focus is right on the front element, ultra sharp corners, and it's a bayonet mount system that you can take on and off. You can move it in between systems. So if you decide to move up to the next level, you can just bring that one right with you when you upgrade to the next version that comes out. But it's a powerful imaging platform in such a small compact package. Doesn't break the bank, but you're going to get amazing results out of it.
So you would say this is a good way as a beginner setup?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But
We talk a little bit
also-
more
yeah.
about all the wet lenses and the new innovative things that you guys been doing at 12:15.
Yeah, you got the big boss.
Yeah, I don't really believe it until I really see it. That Ryan is really here talking to us, so busy man, hard to get. So let's see if he really shows up. But if he shows up, and Edward as well, then we talk about a little bit more about the lenses and the optics that are really, I would say, kind of unique. Okay, cool. So this is the the Canon little X Mark II is the one that you can win on the beginner video.
Yeah.
That's where we put it. So if you still have a question there, you still have time until after the show. We're going to pick the winner in February or early March. And you still have time. Ask a question. Topic related, of course. And the other one I'm really excited about.
yeah.
You've been messing with it again,
Yep.
haven't you?
And
I've been
I
trying to
think
hide
we
it.
should actually Hamdan give us a walkthrough, because you know how it is. If you buy a house and you're like super informed and prepared, right? You know
all the
everything
time.
about it.
Totally.
You did your research. You've been talking to the guys for a long time. So Hamdan, can you give a walkthrough?
We're gonna do some live, real-time fact checking
I'm
here
getting
too.
nervous.
If you don't know anything, maybe you wrap it. So that it doesn't really get
Or
obvious.
I could just use this moment to run with the camera and just hide. But no, in all seriousness, it's the ZCam that's just come out. It's been out for about 2 years-ish, I believe.
That's the ZCam for our European clients.
Yeah, and it's not
For the
even a
rest
year,
of
I
us,
think.
the proper
Is it?
ones, it's ZCam. No, but the great thing is for the price point and the quality that you get for this camera is just unheard of in the industry. You're looking at filming in 4K RAW, and you're not just stuck at 4K 60. And when I say stuck, that used to be the industry standard. But now you can film at a much higher frame rate at 4K without basically giving your life savings away for a red or anything. So for the price you're paying, it's fantastic. It's a compact housing, great bit rate. What can go wrong?
Yeah, I mean, we got 4K at up to 60p with that RAW, partial debayer RAW, or shooting in ProRes, my personal favorite. I love shooting in ProRes, super edit friendly. Or you can, if you want to use the new H.265, you can get up to 160 frames a second.
That's nuts.
Internally on a C5
Internally,
card.
yeah.
Unheard of.
Or to a T5 SSD. So you can just pull that T5 SSD out, plug it into your laptop and go. Sony NP batteries, up to like couple hour runtime, several hour runtime on that. And it comes in black.
Yay.
And the camera body itself retails at just around $2,000. And it's micro Four Thirds lens mount.
Yeah.
So if you're moving from or also using a GH5 and you're using the Nauticam system, you can basically swap right over here. Same ports, same lenses. And also we've got that cool WWL1 and our macro optics as well, CMC1, CMC2. So you can be shooting wide and macro and middle range on the same dive. You guys have had tons of presenters up here. They've all talked about being able to do your wide, your establishing shot, your medium shot, your type shot. Now you can even go further. You can switch out that WWL for a CMC and get your macro stuff at the same time. In a super compact package. And you can even take the handles off. We've got, you can't really see it so well on the screen there, but we've got this huge mounting plate on the top.
I think we can show that.
You can put pole cams, think pole cam, think all sorts of innovative mounting options for this, and it can really get into some tight spaces. It can be your run and gun. You guys do a lot of big animal stuff where it's really important to get in fast and be maneuverable. This is that kind of thing. I mean, think about those orcas. If you had shot some of that stuff in 160 frames a second, I mean, you probably saw most of it at like 96, but imagine what you can slow that down to. Some of these animals where your encounter is super
but
fast,
the problem is it's so dark.
Yeah.
But then it has a double ISO.
Right. It's got the dual native ISO.
That's cool.
Dual native ISO.
Yeah. I think it makes our life also very much easier. Because we get to answer a lot of questions about how we do post-production and how the whole workflow is and everything. And everything is kind of based on like very expensive equipment with like raw workflow and how you do your color editing and color correction and everything. And now all the experience that we have, we can basically apply on this system. And the system is just a fraction of the budget.
Yeah.
Democratizing professional underwater video. It's great.
Yeah. And from what I've noticed, most of the people that interact with Behind the Mask on social media, especially that shoot video, are shooting within the GH5 or GH4 family. So as Hergen mentioned, converting over because you're already in the Micro Four Thirds family. So the cost is also significantly slashed there because you can move over.
Because you are doing exactly that.
I'm trying to convert
GH5
everybody.
Yes,
exactly.
There's still a definite argument for keeping GH5. The GH5 has the great ability that you can also do fantastic stills with it as well, especially for people that maybe they're one.
Oh, really? There are people doing stills?
I know, crazy.
I never
right?
heard about that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no,
I know.
of course.
But if you're a single person, you guys are more of a production when you go places. But if you're a single shooter and you're out there and you're basically running one system for your for kind of your production stills and your video, things like the GH5 definitely still have a place in being able to have that flexibility of stills and video. It's all, I always like to say there's no like, oh, well, now we're going to have this. Oh, now we're going to use this. It's really all about having tools in your toolbox and being able to decide, okay, these are the tools that I want to have in my toolbox. This is the appropriate tool for this situation. And the one thing that I love about Nauticam and that we do is we really just give you so many tools. And we listen and we watch the videos, and Edward, who you're going to hear later speak, is we don't wait for you to come to us and be like, hey, we'd really like to have this. Edward is sitting there just thinking like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we could do this? And then when you come, you're like, hey, we'd really like to do this. It's like, yeah, we've been working on that one. It's coming down the pipe, and it's the same thing here. It's really just okay, where does that tool fit into my where does that tool fit into my workflow? Is that the right tool for me? And if not, now with all the different manufacturers making all this cool stuff, and we're able to support so much of it, you can really kind of find the tool that works for you. And as you mentioned, this is at a price point where you're getting professional level specs and capabilities in a package that you can easily afford and travel with. For someone like us, I routinely travel with 7, 8, or 9 bags. I see this and a little tear comes out of my eye, and I'm like, I can travel with 3 bags? This is possible?
No, but it's so true. Like the size factor is nuts.
Can we get the camera on?
Yeah, sure. Let me pull
Because
it
I
out
think maybe some people have
hold
never
that.
seen the camera. The camera is never. I mean, it's a video camera. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very important point to mention. It's a video camera, but the cool thing is also
The size.
that the form factor of the camera is crazy. Can
And
you,
I'd like for you all to notice how easy that was to take out. That was like
That
30
is on-
seconds.
But
the
right?
slide-
it's always that easy with your housing, so I don't
No, I
really
know.
think that's.
But some people may
yeah.
not be familiar, so there you go.
Okay. So
Yeah,
if you
that's
notice
it.
this one, like even if you shoot above water, this one to
Yeah.
balance on a gimbal is super easy. That's
Yeah, I mean, you've got a
another
plethora
thing.
of connections on the back as well. Full-size HDMI, Ethernet. You've got your mic inputs. You've got everything. So it's really, it's incredible. And for topside shooting, if you put it in a little cage, unfortunately, I didn't bring that over here, but it has a great iPhone app to control the entire camera, and that works as the screen as well. So if you're shooting topside, you can just have your little iPhone sitting on the top on a nice little cage or a gimbal and control all the functions of the camera right there.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
And
that's
another
one thing
thing
we
is
didn't
also.
mention.
You make an excellent hand model, by the way. That looks really nice.
Yeah, I just gotta stop biting
Second
fingernails.
profession.
But another thing that we noticed, because we've been using the cameras now for a while, is that the camera you get there was actually not the camera you bought when it came out, because they upgraded the firmware. There was no raw capability in the beginning. So you know how it is sometimes. There is something new. You get a new model. You have to buy a new model, but what ZCam is doing, they're basically like upgrading firmware, and they're really listening to what the customers want. If you check it out on Facebook, there's a, ZCam E2 user group, or what is this called, and you can talk to the CEO of that company right there, and he's basically managing all the incoming tasks and requests on Facebook by delegating everything to his employees who are also in the group. And so now all of a sudden we have, I think it started with 100 or 100 frames in 4K internally, now we're at 160. And the raw capability also came later. Now all the plugins come out for all the different softwares, and you can really rely on a very quick response, which is
And we-
also kind of unique, I think, with this kind of camera thing. I mean, try to talk to Panasonic, hey, I have a problem.
Yeah,
it's
good
going to be
luck.
very difficult.
And we also have actually, they make a second version. It's called the E2C, which is a slightly, shall we say, more economical version of this one, even though, I don't know, this is only $2,000 for the camera body, so it is already fairly economical. And that one's slightly more compact, and that will also fit in the same housing. You just need a different tray. So this housing actually accommodates 2 different cameras.
Wow.
And then, of course, they're also creating some newer versions of the E2, their flagship versions, which are going to be 6K, 8K, and probably EF mount as well. So, they've got some pretty exciting stuff coming down the pipe as well. And Nauticam International, we actually have a pretty good relationship with them, and we're working pretty closely with them.
I think even neighbors.
Yeah,
They're
they're
kinda
pretty
neighbors,
much
no?
neighbors. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much neighbors. So, I think this relationship's going to go far, and I'm really excited to see what's coming up next. But already, even with this, you've got such a powerful tool and such a compact package. We've had huge interest at the show here. Like I said, every day at about 12 o'clock, Hamdan shows up, and I just hand him the housing, and he walks back here, and
It's been.
maybe gives it back to me around 4:30 or 5.
It is the hardest thing in the world, returning that thing to you.
Then he stands about 6 feet away, stares at it a little longer, blows a little kiss. And then walks
Yeah,
back.
we try to keep him under control. It's very difficult.
Good luck with this one.
What kind of monitor is on it? Because what you also have to know is that there is no internal, like there's a very tiny internal monitor which gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of how you want to actually set up the camera. You're using there an external housing.
Yeah, right now we've
for-
got the housing for the small HD 502 Bright. It's a really incredible monitor. Not only is this is the new Bright edition, or it's not exactly new, it's been out for more than a year. So 1000 nits, so true HDR monitor. But it's got tons of great exposure and focus assist tools. And the way to switch between those is extremely simple. It's basically you can assign each screen to have a different a different tool on it, and you can just kind of cycle back and through those as you need it. So one to check your exposure, flip over to see your focus, like focus peaking. It's a pretty slick monitor, and it runs off just the regular Canon EPL6 batteries. So you can get pretty much equal run times between the monitor and the camera the way that you see it set up here.
Cool. It's actually the only one setting that I totally fine with having an external monitor because the camera itself is so small.
Yeah.
You know, even on the Red, I don't really use an external monitor. Just
yours is built in.
Personal preference, but here it's actually great for macro as well. You can adjust your angles the way you want to do it. You don't have. Yeah.
And again, with the mounting plate on the top, you know, you've got several mounting options for that monitor. It doesn't need to be sitting on the top. You can have it resting off the back. You can stick it off to the side. You can put it underneath and do whatever you want. There's really a lot of flexibility with it to make it as streamlined a package and really make it really what you need for your particular situation.
Cool. If you're here at the show and Hamdan is still here, then also this housing will still be here, so you can have a look at it.
If I allow you.
Yes.
I'm busy with it.
If you allow. If you're here, then you can also come to the party tonight at 6 o'clock. That's another thing. Great. Thank you very much, Jürgen. We really appreciate that we are able to give away this prize together. It's, I think this is going to be a very lucky guy winning this.
Thank you guys so much for supporting this and doing things like this and really highlighting what sort of everyday people are doing with all this cool gear underwater. It's always really encouraging and inspiring to watch.
Thanks a lot. Goes out to all you guys sending all the clips for the community video. We have nothing to do with that. Great. Okay, cool. So we take half an hour break, and after that, very good. Very good coming up. Yeah. If you ever wonder how can I be famous and win awards, Tim, the guy who explained us everything about how to set up our compact camera, I really thought I'm not going to be super interested in it because I'm not going to use the cameras, but then I was super stoked to see his approach.
Yeah.
So he knows really very well how to get information across. And at 11:15 we talk about how you're going to win the next National Geographic Photography Award.
No big deal.
No big deal. 4 steps to do that. And after that, at 2 o'clock, Greg and I will be talking about image making in Antarctica and take you a little bit on the trip to, far down south. And that's going to be nice, especially because we can see cold pictures but still sit here warm and nice. That's great. And then a special one, Hamdan, talking about foam parties and BMX bikes and also freediving photography with our friend Fred Boyle from the Azores.
I wonder how many times you'll threaten to kill me.
I don't know. If you wonder,
it's gonna be fun.
That's the face that looks familiar, but you don't know who it is. You probably see him on TV tagging white sharks or checking out beluga whales and things like that. We talk about that. Was a big thing on social media, controversial things around it. We're going to talk firsthand to him about it and see some of the stuff that he's been shooting in Norway and everything else. Great. So we're out for half an hour. See you later with Tim, 11:15. And thanks, Jürgen. Thanks, everyone. See you in a second.